If Chelsea start bringing in a few deals like that, rivals just listen. I could end up being wrong. I've been wrong about things before, but that's why I'm not sort of clowning Chelsea just for the sake of it, for some attention, some likes, and some clicks, and some new followers on Twitter. Because I don't have this feeling just yet that they're going away. Now, if it doesn't work this year, and have another really bad year, no major European competitions, financially they might be in a position soon where they can't keep attracting people because they literally can't keep affording to do this. But if you bring in Watkins or Tony with what they've already got, the new signings they've made, maybe one more attacker, it is the idea that this team is just no chance making the Champions League, no chance of improving. I find that such a weird, all banter aside, I find it such a weird take personally.
It's so boring, Terry. It's so boring, honestly. Like, and even now, like Terry, you're obviously getting a lot of people crying and being salty about what United are doing. But internally, with Chelsea fans, I'm seeing them bigging up what United are doing, and I'm like, bro, you're the same people that are always negative and always pessimistic about what we're doing. With Tosin, they're complaining, but Man United tried to hijack the deal, and they're bigging up what Ineos are doing, saying Ineos know what they're doing. Man United tried to hijack that. Newcastle tried to hijack it. They kept banging on about, we need Premier League experience, we need age, we need this. We bring that in. We've got a little bit more height with Tosin. It's still not enough. You bring in a little bit more goals and assists from midfield with Dewsbury Hall. It's not a big name, so it's a shit signing. You can't win with these guys, Terry. This is the thing. And I literally find myself going back and forth, not even with rivals these days, with Chelsea fans that want us. It feels like they want Chelsea to fail at the minute. So their narrative of the owners don't know what they're doing can be correct. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's starting to feel like. It's starting to feel like they want the team to fail. So they oh yeah, I told you about Clear Lake. I told you about this. And I keep telling them, bro, in life, not even just in football, in life, you learn from your mistakes. Clear Lake have come in and they've made many mistakes, bro. Many mistakes from the first season to the second season. And now what I'm seeing this season is them trying to rectify mistakes. We conceded so many goals last season from set pieces. We brought in a guy from Brentford, right? Arsenal's guy originally came from Brentford. Man City's guy originally came from Brentford. You know what I mean? We're bringing in a little bit more age. Do you know what I'm saying? To the lineup. We're bringing in a manager who plays possession style football to hopefully help these technical players that want to play possession style football. So I'm looking at all these things. Same way you're looking at these things that Ineos are doing, Terry. You're like, yo, they're making good steps. Same thing as us. But apparently, because they've made so many mistakes, we're not allowed to give them any bit of credit. And that's the frustrating bit about being a Chelsea fan. They just want you to keep saying doom and gloom, because we finished 12th and we finished 6th. It doesn't work like that. It honestly doesn't work like that, bro.
Don, it's the grass is always greener, people. Yeah, it's the grass is always greener on other people's pitches, mate. Yeah, but on your own pitch, it's always doom and gloom. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's so funny now for me, like watching. And this is why I'll never disregard. Like, I'll have a bit of banter with Chelsea and Man United fans, my mates, and that. But I'll never discount and write Man United and Chelsea off, because what you're seeing right now, brother, I have been seeing the past 3 years with Arsenal. Watching you guys is like watching us a couple seasons ago. You might be a bit more ahead than we were when we first started doing our thing, but it's the exact same thing. Even in your own fan base, you're going to have them people that are going to nitpick every single thing that you're doing. They're not going to like it. You're doing positive things. They'll find a reason for it not to be positive. Rival fans will be laughing. And I think the rival fan side of things is normally fear. I'll be honest. It's normally, when we say fear, like, it's normally the thing of, man, it's been fun clowning Chelsea. I don't want Chelsea to start being good again. And then we can't clown them anymore. Because it was what happened to us. It was people were like, oh, man, I'm gutted that we can't clown Arsenal anymore. They were the clown boys. And that will go. And then the Arsenal fans, or the Chelsea fans, or for Terry, the United fans, the ones that have slagged everything off, and they're so stubborn. There's some fans that are so in their ways and stubborn. They believe just because they were slagging off the owners at one point, it means they have to die on the hill that the owners ain't good and the owners are going to make all mistakes. They can't just think like they made the mistakes, they've learned from them, they've improved, they're now better. Yes, I thought they were crap then. I'll stick to that. But now I think they're better. They do not want to do that. So they will do anything to make any positive thing negative. And I see it on Twitter literally today. And it was so funny because yesterday I was on with Tel when we were signing Calafiori, and Tel was saying about fans being online and being like, Calafiori is not good enough. And then when it was looking like we weren't going to sign him. Oh, we ain't going to get him anyway. And then when we were stalling, look, Arsenal don't want to pay the money. They're a joke. And then them same fans, now we are looking like we're signing him, have gone back to the beginning of, oh, we ain't good enough for the club. And it's just like, brother, you're just trying to be negative. These people are just trying to be negative.
And even now, you've still got a lot of people talking about Chelsea as if we've just come off the back of a season where we finished 12th with Graham Potter, where all these players want to leave and that. Like, I know we weren't great last season. It felt like majority of the time was in mid-table and whatnot. But like I've said, for me, we had the wrong manager to be working with those players. He didn't know what he was doing, right? And even with that manager, we were the 4th best team last year in 2024. You know, people might laugh at that and say, oh, how can you look at it like that? But bro, the second half of the season, only 3 more teams collected more points than us. Majority of that time, we kept conceding goals after goals after goals because we was playing ping pong football. Lack of control football. These are things that you can clearly look at and say, yo, we need someone that can hopefully be good defensively, but at the same time score a good amount of goals. Because the season before Poch came in, our problem was offensively. Defensively, Chelsea were good. It's our attack. We scored 38 goals in that season. Last season, we scored a lot of goals, but we leaked a lot of goals as well. That was the problem. We need a fine balance, and I think Maresca can bring that fine balance. You know what I mean? He scored the most amount of goals in the championship, and he had the third best defensive record as well. People will laugh and say, oh, it's the championship. Well, then why did Leeds come straight back up then? If it's so easy, why didn't Leeds come straight back up? They had a lot of Premier League players as well. You know what I mean?
I understand a lot. I look at it this way. I think fans, if they don't like a manager, a signing, they have the right to express that. But I also look at it as you've got to get the balance right. And there's a little bit of chicken and egg in this argument because we started to see Arsenal improve. And it was at the same time that the lion's share of their fan base became more positive. And you could argue the football was getting better, therefore the fan base became more positive. So there's an element where you need your club to deliver something on the football pitch for you. But I am a fervent believer that what goes on social media, what fans are saying and doing feeds into dressing rooms. And we've seen the best managers in the world talk about how the clubs have had to hire extra sports psychologists to help the players deal with what they see about themselves online. And I think there's times where criticism is absolutely needed. You can't allow a player to get away with blue murder. You can't allow a squad to become kind of complacent and bloated. You've got to put that pressure upon them. But there are also times where doing less is more. And I think that we have this kind of underbelly now within the football fan world, which is, I love my club more than you because look how angry I am at my club all the time for not being the best in the world. And I don't necessarily, even though I think a lot of the opinions those people hold are true, sometimes in life it isn't about what you think and feel. It's about your actions off the back of it. And I don't feel that it's always conducive to be having a go, and always being in a bad mood with your football club. I don't think it helps. My mind has changed over the last decade listening to the football players talk. And I'm not talking about the failures. I'm talking about the guys who have got success. Now, of course, what will straight away happen, I'm sure someone in the comments has done it, but look what Real Madrid's fans do. But you're talking about a team that has been at the top for what, a century? And has very rarely fallen away from the top. So they've always been up there. They haven't had a dip. What Chelsea have been through in the last 7 years in the league has never happened to Real Madrid, not in the post-World War II era. What Man United have been through in the last 11 years has never happened to Real Madrid. What has happened to Arsenal has never happened to Real Madrid. So you can't cite them as an example because you're comparing an apple with a piece of dog shit. I'm being honest with you. They're not the same thing. And you have to view it. I'm not stating that you shouldn't aspire to have that mentality and behavior and standards. But you've got to get to that point. You have to work. I don't talk to my 4-year-old boy when he's playing football and make him operate in the same way as I would if I had an 18-year-old boy that was in the first team of Man United. I would. You got to go to bed at this time. You got to eat this. You got to drink this. Oh, there's no way you're having that bag of crisps because you're 4 years old. You got football training tomorrow. It's different. I can't fathom why we live in this. So again, let me reiterate. I don't believe that the opinions these people hold are overly wrong. I don't believe they shouldn't be allowed to think and feel and even say what they do. But I believe this is about, we always talk about our teams needing this balance. There's times when you need balance. There's times when you need to go at your team. There are times when I think you actually just need to be a fan and put your arm around them and say, come on, go again.
There's no balance.
I think that balance is missing, especially across teams that are trying to get back up to the top. I saw it yesterday. Man United played well. And I saw some big United accounts trying to do this whole, Garnacho versus Ahmad thing. Why do it? Let rivals do it. That conversation doesn't need to happen because it was already, I was looking at the comments, toxic. What are you doing? We're in quite a good mood at the minute. There's nothing to be angry about. Why start a problem?
Yeah,
It's
man.
crazy to me.
A lot of these guys are just hypocrites, Terry. This is what happens when you've got a narrative, right? And you've got no real logic behind it. You end up contradicting yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you've got no balance. That's what happens to these guys. I'm seeing a lot of these guys that constantly complained last season and kept crashing it on the players and not looking at the manager much and saying, oh, this is the squad that he's been given and whatnot. But then they're the same guys that talk about Southgate and says, oh, look how he's got Phil Foden playing. Look how he's got Kane playing. Look how he's got this guy playing. And I'm like, bro, it's the same logic with this Poch guy. He was setting out the team to fail. And we were speaking about this all last season, majority of the season, where a lot of these guys kept getting set up to fail, looking worse than what they were, you know. But when it comes to Chelsea, that logic can't be applied. But when it comes to Southgate, they can clearly see it, clear as day. That's when I'm like, yeah, clearly you've got an agenda. Clearly you want your team to fail. So your narrative about these owners never getting it right can be spot on. You know what I mean? Which is mad to me. It's mad to me, bro. You can't be doing that.
That element I agree with, and I think it is about balance. And yeah, I already see in the comments, like, Terry, but you've criticized Man United. Yes, there's balance. There's times where I criticize, and I'll give you an example. I didn't like what Sancho did when he tweeted out about the boss. I also didn't like the fact that the manager made it public in the first place. But then when the club started making him train with the under-18s and eat his lunch in his car, I didn't carry on with the pile-on. I slammed the club for leaking that information. Still didn't change how I felt about what Sancho did. It's called balanced thinking. You know, it's about not being so polarized. Like the level of polarization is crazy. Some breaking transfer news, by the way. Well, it's not really transfer news. Joe Biden has resigned and pulled out the presidential race.
Resigned?
According to like social media posts, I think there's a letter that's come out for him. I'm not sure. I'm sure if he's pulling out the race and he's essentially resigned.
Bro, you sure he didn't do that in his sleep or something?
Look, I actually think it's the right thing for him to do. You know, it's been hard listening to him. I mean, I'm not American, but I still think the American president impacts everybody's country to a certain degree. And I'm like, the guy thought Trump was his vice president the other day, and I'm like, man's got to go. Terry, Prem proven means nothing. Again, if you're polarized, it means something. It means everything, or it means nothing. It can mean something. Give you an example. I think the likes of Tony, Watkins, Tosin, Dewsbury Hall, Premier League proven means something for them for Chelsea in this situation. They are not relocating to another country. They get the culture. They understand the league. They know about Chelsea. There isn't going to be a big culture shock for them. So that element of Prem proven is important rather than signing another 3, 18, 19-year-olds from other countries that are not only going to a bigger, more pressured club, but they're also emigrating at exactly the same time. Doesn't guarantee success, but if you're a bet, if you're going to look at it as a bet, if you're going to look at it as what's more likely to be successful, Ollie Watkins moving to Chelsea or a very raw 18, 19-year-old leaving Spain or France or Italy or the Ukraine to join Chelsea, which is more likely to be a success? I think the one who is slightly older and got that Prem proven nature. So again, it doesn't mean everything. It's not foolproof, but the idea that it means nothing is equally as crazy.
It's a factor. It's a factor that you want, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's again the thing like you said just then. It's the balance. It's like you can use it, but you can't die on the hill of it. You can't just say, "Well, no, he's not Prem proven, so it's not." That's it. Yeah. You can't be like, "He is Prem proven, so he's gonna be better." You got to look at it like depends on what you need and what the situation is. Listen, all leagues are different. The style of playing leagues are different. So sometimes you're like, I know this guy he knows what he's doing. If you sign Wally Watkins, he's played Arsenal Football Club before many times. He's played Chelsea. He's played City. He's played these guys, you know? So he knows. That's what they mean by Prem proven. And as you said, Tel, like sometimes these players they come to another country and they don't adapt to the culture, they don't adapt to the lifestyle, the weather. The weather's sometimes a huge thing. Like people laugh at that, but if you've gone from a country where it's sunny all the time and you're feeling good and you're getting all that vitamin D all the time and stuff, you come to a dreary country where you're playing when it's cold and it's in the rain. That's a factor.
Yeah, bro, and pressure as well. Listen, we all know everyone watches the Prem. As soon as you go to a big club, people are watching you. You know what I'm saying? It's an easier transition for someone like a Tony. Obviously, Tony's not at a big club right now, but it's easier for him because he understands the pressure of the league as well. So these are all little intangibles that we're speaking about that can go a long way.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all balance. To your point again, Twisted, doesn't mean nothing, doesn't mean everything. It's there's a spectrum to it.